Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday night segment of The Outer Realm. We're broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network, UFO, Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. We're fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee who have been a part of our journey since the beginning. So thank you, Folgers. We appreciate you so very much. Also, truly grateful for Justin Snicker, a.k.a. Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for his contribution of his time, his music, and his voice for the intro that you just heard. He's an award-winning composer of Halloween horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found on all of your favorite music platforms. Also, big thank you to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind the banners and logos here at the show. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Specializes in the horror genre and does amazing pieces, but also does fantastic commission pieces. He can paint anything or draw anything. He does comic books. He does like phenomenal stuff. Books too, just so you know. So check him out for sure. He's awesome. Tonight, we welcome all the way from the UK live, Gari Jones. And he's going to be discussing his new book, The Denbigh Lights, A Truthful Argument for the Existence of UFOs. So that's kind of like all the buzz right now. Everything. People are really going out and talking big time about UFOs, and that's becoming a big thing since the whole whistleblowing thing.
Art Bell would be proud.
I know. It's like, wow. Okay.
Right? He'd be so proud.
I know.
One of the pioneers. Yeah.
I know. It's really like really amazing stuff. And he's got a whole slideshow. He sent me in like 56 photos and 2 videos. So I'm going to be popping them up. Yeah, I'm going to be popping them out one at a time. And I'm going to bring up the first one. I'm going to just prep it, prime it, get it ready to go. We're just waiting for him to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 second. Let me get this together. There we go. Share. Good to go. All right. We're good. So anyway, how was your day? I will hear that haw and raise you a haw. Or it's been a day of finding out some great, just interesting stuff. It's just been, well, just like everything.
Yeah. The weather has been crazy. I mean, it was sunny, rain, and like, just keep raining, please.
It doesn't help, does it? I think with everything.
Not when you're affected by the pressure and humidity and you get migraines from it. It doesn't. But thankfully, yesterday I went to bed with a headache and then I got sick. Nobody needs to know about that.
Oh, good to know. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And anyways, and today it's like it's not too bad. Hi, Wayne.
Right.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Hi, Wayne. Yeah.
It released a little bit with that rain and then the sun, but it's been a crappy summer for a lot of people, but mostly for the people who are affected by the fires, the floods, and there's been a lot of that all around the world. So I keep them in my thoughts and my prayers, but we can get by with a crappy summer.
Hey, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah. Well,
better than being fires. My God,
stuff's got to give.
Fires, volcanic eruptions. You talk about apocalypse yesterday.
We did. We talked about that, and
this going,
and things are going on. I know.
Crazy.
I know. Oh, Wayne says he had cat vomit to clean up.
That's good.
That's good. That's a beautiful thing.
I
Beautiful
didn't
thing.
share mine yesterday.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
know.
gosh. I
It's like,
know.
hi,
Hi, Terry.
Terry.
I know.
I,
I'm just, it's really with oh, he says dealing with eruptions of his
is
own.
that a hairball? Is that what? I don't remember. I haven't had a cat in years.
I
I
don't
can't
even know.
anymore because my daughter's so badly allergic to them, like severely.
So is Wayne.
Yeah. See? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I know. I think so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Sabrina's really bad. She would always, even just standing at the side door of a friend's house, would know if they had a cat. She would come out, her eyes were already bugged, and she didn't even go inside.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God.
Wayne, TMI.
It's like ectoplasm.
Maybe
Oh my gosh. I
it is.
don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious. I can't not wait until we get until Gary gets here.
Yeah.
For aliens, maybe.
Gary and Ron, you're in the same time zone.
There is a race of cat people, apparently. I don't know.
Hi, Ruth.
So hi,
Cutting
Ruth.
grass after dark, not recommended. Yeah, not. I can't imagine the skeeter bites you got on your legs. So
I know. Do not try this at home.
for
I know,
that,
right? And our guest of
yeah.
honor is here. I think. Oh,
Yay.
there he is. Ah, and we're live. Hi,
Hi.
Gary. How are you? Can you hear us?
Sound, yeah.
We hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you hear
I
us?
can't hear you.
Really?
Oh, check your. Oh, yeah, he can't hear me. Check his sound in his
Okay. Check your sound.
in his preferences.
Can you hear me
there.
okay?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you? Okay, it might be a microphone thing. Okay, we'll fiddle around and we'll sit here and get this sorted out.
Yeah.
I know. Try it again.
Can you hear me all right? I don't understand what's going on here.
We can hear you. He can just talk.
And try coming.
It's okay.
I don't know. Coming back in. Okay. I don't know if he can see our chat, the private chat. Can you see the private chat? I'm just going to try to email him. How about that? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, 1 second.
Name Canada comes from the Huron name Canada meaning village. Yes, and it was a complete misunderstanding, Ron. Hi, Dolly. It was a complete misunderstanding.
Check your sound. Yeah, I think we're okay. Camera and mic is okay, so we're good. I'm just going to send that back. I have to do it that way. I don't know how else to do it. So, yeah, hello, testing. Can't hear you now either. Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you either.
Try restarting the computer.
Yeah, maybe restart. I don't know. I will message that back. And gone. Okay. Restart.
Susan, my ex-husband's name was Denby. It's Denbighshire. Or Denbighshire.
Yeah, I'm not really positive on that. Okay, where were we before?
Yeah.
He came in now. Oh boy. Okay. Look
Hi, Wayne.
Everybody's gang's all here. Hi, Wayne.
Haven't seen you in forever.
I know. He lives. Oh my gosh. Hello, Dolly. Hello. Canada meaning village or settlement. Correct. That's true.
Yep. And I was explaining to him that it was a misunderstanding because they thought he was referring to what is that called? And he said Canada meaning this is our village.
Right.
And it stuck. So
Right. Maybe.
No, it was on one of those heritage moments that we have as commercials. Remember those historical heritage moments in Canada?
I can never remember those things.
Well, that's how I remember it because I've never liked the name Canada. Yeah,
Right.
That's me. Never liked the name Canada. So I'm like, well, why aren't we called like North America, just us, or North United States?
Yeah.
This kind of thing. Like I never understood it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why our forefathers did what they did. That
I
doesn't
have
all
to go
make any
back into
sense
history
anyway.
for
But
that. I'd have to go back to history. For that.
I know. Well, as
Yeah.
we wait for Gary to come in, does anybody want to chime in with some fun things? Let's talk.
Well, Susan said her ex-husband was named
I know.
Denby.
Why
And
don't I? I'm just going to read the book. How about that? Why don't I read a little bit of an
yes,
excerpt from
it's
the book?
ASMR.
Okay. So, the Denbigh Lights, a truthful argument for the existence of UFOs, a detailed account of a UFO sighting that happened in a quiet village in Denbighshire, North Wales. That was January 3rd, 2012. A family of four in the early hours of the morning at approximately 3 a.m. saw from the upstairs window of their home during a very windy, stormy night and rainy, a mystical oval outline that had bright lights coming from its exterior. Video recordings were made of the object, and local police in the area were also called to try and ascertain that the object or what it might be. Shortly after, a local UFO researcher did an initial investigation, discovered some initial evidence that he was convinced that there were no rational explanations for the sighting. 6 years later, the author, of course, Gari Jones, came across the case in April of 2018, conducted an in-depth investigation, and put together a video report concluding that indeed this was a genuine UFO sighting with great corroborating evidence. The book details a full investigation carried out by all concerned, photo analysis of the video taken that night, and one-to-one interviews with all of the witnesses involved. Gari Jones puts together a powerful argument for his conclusion that the object witnessed that night in 2012 remains unidentified and unexplained. Now, he's been witnessing strange paranormal and supernatural events for as long as he can remember, since childhood, in fact. He has been curious about the strange and wondrous world around him. He knows that the UFOs and ET phenomenon is real. So, let's see. Let's give it a whirl. He's back. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I heard a click.
I heard the boop.
Yeah.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yay!
You're just reading
Yeah, it's just
on your
it's
book.
the silly settings on this machine. I don't know why it does it, but just
Oh,
It's okay. There's a gentleman in our chat. His name is Ron Watson, and he's in Scotland, and he stayed up just to hear you.
oh, thank you, Ron.
He said hi, Gary, in the chat,
Yeah.
but you were trying to get your sound ready. So
I know. Oh, wow.
we love Ron.
Well, welcome to the show. I know it's very late for you. I mean, it's the wee hours of the morning. Technically, it's probably close to 2:30 in the morning. So
you can
yes.
technically have breakfast when we're done.
I know. maybe.
Probably.
So, well, again, welcome. And I always like to start the show before we get in, because you've sent a lot of pictures and video, and we're all really anxious to get into it. But we want to know a little bit more about you as well. So, how did this all start for you? Besides the book, I mean, you've had this healthy curiosity. Did that start out from personal experiences as a child, or was it just a healthy interest?
I'd say it's more of experiences as a child. I've always been a curious mind, I guess, but for some reason these sightings and experiences chose me at a young age, and I've never forgotten them. And I guess that shaped. Just adjust my camera. I guess that shaped much of what I'm doing now, because I mean, I'll go through it quickly.
Right.
When I was about 5, I moved to a new area, a new neighborhood.
Right.
Couldn't have been there more than a few weeks, months, maybe.
Right.
Lived in a 3-story house, and one night I just woke up, and for no reason, I saw myself like in an out-of-body experience, to describe it as the best way for everyone to have.
Wow.
Color was different, sound was different. It was in a real place. I wasn't sleepwalking. It felt as real as I could convey it to you now, or yourself, to your senses. But I go to my second floor living room, and there's this 15-foot tall being standing outside, and he's
my God.
And he's an imposing figure. He's very slender. He's got this like cone-ish shaped head, but it's not cone. It's more like it's very he's very well defined, and he's very well I don't know how to describe him really, but he could easily pick a grown man up and throw him 30 feet. I've often described him like that because he's very strong and dexterous, and he was wearing this like black sort of suit, like, like you see on, but it was like what's the word I'm looking for? Like that raw oil kind of color, like that very thick luminous oil. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't shimmering. It shimmered, but it had that thick looping look to it, just in terms of how it looked. But I mean, I saw him 3 times in like maybe I don't know how long it was, maybe a week, a month, but no.
And
it wasn't
how old were you again? Sorry,
about 5.
Wow.
I've never forgotten it. I've never forgotten it.
I would imagine you couldn't forget something like that. Did you feel fear at the moment or nothing?
No, I didn't fear him at all. If anything, I felt like I feel like he was a friend.
So maybe that's something he was telepathically communicating with you, and possibly you had a sighting. You had a.
He didn't say nothing. I assume it was a he. If they have it, I don't know, but I assume it's a he. Like, you know what I mean? Because it looked like a.
Dolly says a tall white.
It could be. It could be. I mean, I've heard the descriptions of them, but it's more of his it's more of his head. It was like I mean, the tall whites have got. I've heard that they've got more of a roundish, even shaped head. I mean, his was even, but it was like slender, and it had this sort of like point at the top like that. It was more
kind of like
very sharp and defined, and very But anyway, I saw him 3 times. On the third one, he kind of wandered off, and he sort of faded out like a ghost in the distance. You know what I mean? It was very strange.
3 times after that?
No, 3 times in total, like maybe a week or 2.
And that was it, eh? Then the sightings.
Could have been 10 days, but it was no more than that.
And
I wonder if you've had many interactions with him, but these are the only ones they're allowing you to remember and to recall. Because to feel that calm with
I don't have any recollection of anything else, maybe.
Yeah,
so I can't say yes or no if I can't recall them.
That's what I mean. Like, to feel that calm at 5 years old, I mean, that almost leads to you've had interactions with them before that you didn't remember. You just knew you were safe.
Well, I mean, I talk about these ones because this is crazy. I'm 7 years old. I think it was about the next time I have a recollection of this. This time they're not 15 feet. They're not 15 feet. They're like 6 and 7 feet, but they're dressed in blue, and they've got these coats on with these big sort of like collars on them. The one is a lady, and the other one's a man. The man's got sort of golden blondish hair. It's very golden, but the lady's got more like fair bluish skin with a silverish hair. Wow. And I've said it before. I said it's like it's like Avatar, and when the forest lights up for the first time, everything looks like exactly as it should outside in the street, one of my neighborhood streets, But it's like the color is just an amazing, much higher level of color, and it's like Avatar when you see the forest for the first time. Everything is just amazingly ultravioletly lit up. But vivid. What's very strange is something I remember, and this is this is how vivid it is, and this is how clear it is.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about it is like I'm not scared of them, and they don't threaten me at all. But they're like they're like this. I'm 7 years old, maybe. Yeah. 7. What the? Huh? Yeah. And it's like they're all what's going on here.
That happens with the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, you freeze up every now and then.
It's okay. It happens when you're.
It happens. You're a long way away.
But it's like they're all looking at me, and it's like we're all.
Okay, I'm not the only one.
Okay, you just froze
on us.
That
was the message I got from that. I never realized what it meant until now. But around that time, I had a UFO event.
Yeah.
You just have to get past a glitch.
I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. It's just it happens.
Someone's trying to interfere me again. It's not the first time this has happened.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Because you're in an interdimensional space with them, they cannot.
The funniest thing is
handle our gravity. Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I know a lot of people who've looked into these areas, and I always give them I always like to listen to them. So. Thank you, whoever that was. I didn't see a name.
Well, that's
Dolly. To talk to Dolly. Yeah. We would love to talk to her.
She's an aware contact.
Dolly Saffron.
Yeah. That can connect you fully.
Well, like I
fully
said,
and
around that
present.
time,
Yeah.
I just had a UFO sighting around that time. I don't know if this was before or after that strange encounter with the one, the one I said I looked like Avatar. But yeah, just a oval-shaped object. Me and my friends were playing in the street. It was in the summer because I was allowed to stay out after dark when after when the darkness came out. So I stayed in the street because my parents would call me and say, "Come on, man, time to come in." And I say, "All right." But the sun was starting to finish setting over there. You could still see daylight, but it's the sun's well gone, but the daylight's following into the darkness as the earth is turning.
Right.
But on the other side, it's really pitch black, and I've often described it. It's oval shaped like that, and it's moving like this, and red, yellow, orangish lights on it blending into one another like a lava flow, and it didn't make any noise. And it was there for like 2 or 3 minutes. And one of my friends jokingly said it was a UFO. We didn't know what a UFO meant. We just thought it meant unidentified flying object. So it's not a plane. It's not a helicopter.
Yeah.
So hey, there's a UFO. Hey.
Yeah.
But who knew the significance? Yeah, who knew the significance of what we were looking at? But
right.
I think I stayed there for like 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, definitely around that time. It must have been more like 3 minutes. But I think my attention was like, someone called me. It's like, whatever. 10 seconds later.
Yeah.
My friends are like, "Hey, Gary, come on, do this." We're not interested in it, but I am. I'm looking at it. I'm mesmerized by it.
Yeah.
And I turn back and it's gone. It's like, where'd it go?
Right.
It must have turned his lights off or cloaked, as people would say, but I don't know what happened to it. But it didn't. If it was a plane or a helicopter, it would not have had enough time to get near the horizon area in the distance there to be covered by the mountain ranges, because that would have at least, if it was a plane or helicopter, the speed that they would normally travel, about 45 seconds at least, I would have seen it go away. But this thing just vanished.
Yes. So that's pretty much where you've developed a healthy interest. It just kept pretty much finding you, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I said. This thing chose me, not the other way around. And
yes.
I started learning about subjects that don't even get mentioned that much anymore. Spontaneous human combustion and
yes.
I mean, psychic power was a big thing back then with Uri Geller, but I think we've all known
I know.
Geller was a bit of a fraud. But it blended in with all that more genuine stuff, and I just started learning all I could, and I think one of the things I picked up on was how debunkers or the skeptics looked at it. The skeptics, I'm going to use the word skeptic because a debunker just looks for a way to get rid of it, but a skeptic will always challenge. So I started learning a little bit about the way they talked and what things they did. So yeah, I just picked that up over the years and led me down this road. So.
And here you are tonight on the Outer Realm with little old us. Yes.
Does anyone else in your family have had experiences?
I know that they have had experiences. Yes, they've had sightings and strange paranormal stuff. I'm not going to go into detail on it, but
no. I'm just curious because
shadow beings.
Shadow
beings, I'll say that. Strange noises, things moving unexpectedly. Shouldn't have done. I mean, I was there when 1 or 2 of them happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very odd.
We find that common with people who talk about their experiences, that there are family members that have it as well. That's why I was curious to ask you.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because are you looking at being a generational experiencer or contactee? I found out I keep freezing up. I basically
I don't know what's happening.
Generation. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it works. Because it's on my parents' side and in my brothers and their children's side as well. So
paranormal phenomena and UFO sightings, being an experiencer, definitely go hand in hand. Just I've spent a couple of decades in the field, and I've found at least half of the people who are experiencing paranormal phenomena were also experiencers of extraterrestrial visitations or abductions or contact. Really? Well, okay. But that's can you hear me now?
It was a good line.
I know. Can you hear me now? Can you hear us? No?
I can hear you, but you're sort of coming through muffled. Like,
Yeah, the same is coming from your end as
oh,
well.
His
why? Yeah, I can hear
connection.
you fine now. There, a little bit of a
Yeah.
break up there somewhere.
I'm
The
going
other
to
phone.
mute my mic and see if that strengthens
So
the.
why don't we get to the book then? So you know, I just read out the whole write up that you sent on the book and what led you to do the investigation. So where do you want to start with this? You've sent over quite a few pictures, and I'll put the pictures up as you're ready. We'll have to put them up one at a time. I didn't have enough time to
Yeah, I'll
create a
call it.
slideshow, but I can bring them up.
No, what I was going to do there, the folder I sent you was my slide presentation from a couple of months back. So I'll call up a number of the one you can display if you want. You haven't got to show them all.
Yeah, we can
two
do
videos
that.
there, which I'd like to show.
Yeah, I just put this one up just to show the cover of the book, right? Just so this way people can see.
This one
This is
here.
the book cover. Yeah, right there. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's
Fantastic.
the case I came across I knew about it from sometime in the summer of 2017, I think. The reason for that is because I had become aware of the Penn Turk incident with Kaz Clark on February 2016, about 2 days after it happened. And although I didn't make contact with her until October of 2017, and the story for that is that I couldn't reach her in the club that night because she was just swarmed. You know, I mean, by that point, you know, there'd been a lot of discussion and a lot of questions asked and everything. But by October of 2017, we made contact, but I was looking for evidence and stuff previously, just trying to find anything. And I came across that case, you know, the one that became known as the Denbigh Lights. Yes. I came across videos because someone had already done a preliminary investigation on that one. And I thought, well, this is interesting. Does that have anything to do with this? But no, it was like 4 or 5 years previous. So I was like, nah. But I kept note of it. So, and around April 2018, I was up in North Wales with a UFO group, which I'm no longer with, and I won't name because I've had
Of course, that's okay.
Falling out with them for being fair.
Yeah.
They're close. Well, if you want to go to the Penn, if you want to go to the Penn Turk incident page and look at the June 2022 Newport presentation. So what happened is that I came across this case and they showed me the video of that family that's involved in this, and I was like, how many videos you got too? And I said, how many minutes have you got? You got 10 minutes of this and no one's done anything with it. I said, yeah, someone showed a few, a few bits here and there, but is that what? No one's analyzed it. No TV companies come in. No one has really done something with this. Made some sort of documentary to show the evidence and how this video is probably the strongest part of it all in terms of visual evidence for the rest of the world to see. So I said to them, Nathan and Alex and Linda and Kira, I said, is there any chance I can investigate this and I'll see what I can find and maybe I'll probably get back to you at some point. And yeah, from there I just started. I realized, that a man named Peter Glynn, who was a local researcher at the time, who had an interest in UFOs, did a good job actually. Got a good hour's worth of interviews out of them and covered a lot of important areas like overlaying day and night photos and pinpointing where the lights were coming from and checking the area out where they thought maybe human activity could be.
Yeah.
And there was nothing like that at all. Once I had his stuff and I had all this other stuff, I thought I can build a really good solid case here. And that's why, if you saw it up on the screen, I just say a truthful argument for the existence of UFOs. Now, the reason I call it that is because throughout the last couple of years, I've known, maybe this is not it's an underrated case. It's not like, like the Rendleshams of the world or the Roswells, of course, or the Penn Turk incident now, which is right up there. But that case alone definitely deserves a place in the UK. It's one of the best documented cases, period. Because it's got everything in there. It shows that plane, a helicopter, drone, electrical arcing, fireworks. The family saw something that night during a storm with winds blowing up 50. rain coming down and freezing cold temperatures. Not the kind of weather or condition. Sorry, it keeps looping.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you. You just cut out periodically.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So once I was finished, I put it all together in a documentary, which I called the Denbigh. And later on, I just decided to do a book.
Oh, we've lost him. Let's see if he comes back in.
That's a lot of cutting out.
That was a lot of
That's
cutting
the
out.
UK though for us at night. That's what happens. Tech gremlins.
I know.
Yes,
Tech gremlins. I'm wondering.
It happens when we hit over the pond with them.
It does happen. It's very, very.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the wee hours of the morning over there, so we're not really sure what's going to go on. But I do have the videos uploaded, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to come back on and explain it and get himself back on board and see what happens. But I think, from what I understand, just from what I was reading about, everything I just read out to you guys, he spent quite a bit of time researching this. And it does sound like it's a bit of an underrated case, or hate to say case file. Dolly, you said you were sending something. Have you sent it? I will have to keep an eye out for it, and I will make sure he gets it.
I'm having problems with internet too.
Dolly, are we having any solar flares?
I think so, because it keeps clicking, like you keep freezing, and I know it's not you. It's on my end, and I keep getting the signal Wi-Fi gone, and then it's on again. So I wonder what the heck is going on.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for him because he stayed up late for us, and then all this trouble. I feel so bad.
And he's struggling. He is. I know. Yeah. I feel badly. Hopefully he'll come back on. YouTube is goofed tonight. Everything is goofed tonight.
The whole day has been goofed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we lost you. Please try again. Yeah, we'll see.
I am so sorry, Gary. It's
not fun, but
no.
But I mean, we do have a lot of UK guests, and we don't really have we don't have issues with everybody from the UK. But on occasion it does happen.
Yes. I remember I used to have those issues with Paul when we did the show together, who is also on our network. But I remember those issues at night.
Yeah. And Dolly, you can send it by email for sure. Thank you. I'll watch for it. So yeah, I should. Yeah, I threw off the energy of the guest. You may have. I don't know, but
naughty Chris.
I know. I know. But again, I think it'll be fascinating to see if we can get him back on. But it's interesting because when I go back to saying how the paranormal and UFO experiencers, tend to go hand in hand. I say at least 50% of the people I worked with over the decades have, were also extraterrestrial or UFO experiencers. They would either have sightings of crafts or ET or been abductee contactees, which to me is like really interesting. And then to have all the paranormal phenomenon going on was really hard to gauge, because now I have more of an awareness as an experiencer, but I didn't have that back then. Like it was just, I knew very little. Okay, we lost you and you were back.
Don't apologize.
Sorry, but it cut off.
Don't apologize. I feel bad for you because you stayed up late
to
do this, and we appreciate it so much. And I feel so poorly for you because you're struggling.
It might be. I don't know, but
we're just gonna let you talk.
Yes.
I don't know where I was. Where did I cut out?
Well, we were talking.
I think it was Pan Turkins.
How everything was just It's an underrated case, unlike Rendlesham, or
I
it's
may have
sort of
talked of
where
it and didn't record it.
we didn't get
Well,
it. Yeah.
yeah, the Denbigh Lights underrated case. I just know that there's. I mean, if you're looking for, as I say, look, I'm not bragging about this. I mean, a truthful
Right.
argument for the existence of UFOs. I'll have to just start from here, and hopefully people will pick it up. I said from before, years and years going into this, because obviously now we're at a stage where governments are really starting to divulge information, put people under oath, and can be prosecuted for lying. And here they are talking about UFOs or a non-human biology. What do they call it, biologics or something? That's their word for alien. Like their word for UFO is UAP. An identified anomalous phenomenon rather than an identified flying object. Point is, all those years, I kept saying about this one. I mean, it's an airtight case. It's an underrated case. It's got video witnesses, all the evidence you could possibly want, and all the usual explanations that come with it, like electrical arcing, fireworks, helicopters, lightning, or some other thing, lights on a building misinterpreted. It doesn't stack up. It is a genuine UFO, and it's been examined by an expert, and every possible conceivable thing that has been thought of. And let me have a look here. I mean, I'm trying to show you. I mean, if you go into your slides, I'll show you a quick one. Look, slide 5.
Okay, 1 second. Let me bring it up. Slide number 5. Okay, give me 1 moment, and I will bring that up on the screen right now. Screen share, bump, 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 and bump. There we go.
All right. Now, this is just an interesting story that I came across when I started looking into the background of this case. It's just a news story from a local person. He was taking pictures around Denbigh Castle. Now, it's an ancient castle, and I've got a lot of detail about it in the book, but it's a couple of centuries old, and it's one of the more central figures of the landmarks of the town of Denbigh in North Wales. But interestingly, this is 8th of February, about a month later, after the 3rd of January 2012 Denbigh Lights incident. This was actually taken on the 1st of February. It appeared in the newspaper up there about a week later that a man named Graham Evans saw a disc-shaped object in daytime, took many photos, few, that really showed, as you can see in the page 3 little green written worded image there, that this is a disc-shaped object. A disc-shaped object. And what even caught my eye more was that if you look maybe towards the underneath part of it, it looks like it's got a smaller circle above the bigger circle. And as you're going to see in some of the slides I'm going to show you, I might as well just get into the image and analysis part of it all, because once I had the video and I had
they're loaded to go, the videos. So
okay. I'll get you to play them when I'm ready.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Don't make it sound like I'm bossing you or anything.
No, it's okay.
No.
It's
You
your
play
show.
when I'm
Go
ready.
ahead.
It's all about you, honestly.
No, I just that shape really caught my eye, because once I started doing frame analysis, or like grabbing stills and trying to mess around with lights and contrast and even putting different filters over them to see if I could find something. Let me have a look here now. I mean, if you go to, where is it? Should be, here we go. Go to slide 27.
Okay, 27 coming right up. Alrighty, so 1 second, I'm going to move that off of my screen so I can see you guys. All right, here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, these are the 3 images that you see on the right and under the bottom left there. I don't know. Yeah. You can see in the top left there, the screen, the top left, there's that one there. That was done by a man named David Williams. Now, he's the next door neighbor of the family, and I'll talk about them in a minute. But he was allowed to, he got an iPad, and he was playing the video, and he was sort of messing around with the imaging software there. He took a frame, and then he did like a zoom and took a frame, and then closed in more. And I guess every time he zoomed in, it just in height enhanced it, but did it in such a way that it brought out this amazing detail. And what strikes me is you can see underneath, if you bring your mouth underneath David Williams's image, that one there, you see that little red light on top?
Yes.
Like a cherry. And if you move it up to the top right there, that one there, there's the red light again. So that one really caught my eye. And if you look at the light configurations in some of these images, they're very, very similar. Now, obviously, you've got the mouse there. I would like, if you can sort of just take it more, if you come up to your right, maybe you see a triangle in the middle of some of the lights there. There.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Come over. There. Right there. You added right down there.
Okay.
Now, there's an interesting configuration of lights there that I noticed, and underneath is the what's the word I'm looking for? When you there's a word for it. You got the color image, and you sort of do like that photo film looking thing. There's a word for it. Inversion. That's it.
Okay.
Invert the image, and I tried to just bring this one out a little bit more. Now there is something to show you. Where is it? If you go to slide 51.
Okay, so 1 second. Slide 51.
I'm just trying to show you that this thing has shape, form. It definitely has some fixtures around the middle center of it. Now you can see here some of the more interesting details. You see the two lights, blue hue, and then I bring it over to the triangle there. You can see down the bottom right. Yeah, that's an actual an image I took from the film, and all I've done is color enhanced it. That's just how it looks.
Wow.
Underneath, where you see the underneath there, where you see all those little bluish white lights, and where are you? No, to your right. You see them in the squares. Look in the three squares there. There's one with a triangle on it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that one there. When you actually zoom in very closely and take a good look at it, you can see the triangle without the boxes around it. It's there, and I was like, is that pixelation or is that just me? To me, that looks like some sort of door or appendage or something that's designed for the craft itself, because that's very unusual. Because now, if you want to go to video 1.
Okay, 1 second. Video 1. Here we
this
go.
This will all become clear. What you're going to see before you play it, what you're going to see is a text underneath, and this is where Nathan and Alex are the ones first looking at. Now they're brothers. They were 12. Nathan was 12. Alex was 14. It was 3 a.m. Stormy night, wind blowing. I mean, it was the conditions. You're not flying a helicopter in this or a drone or nothing. You're not setting fireworks off or having a party, okay? Because it's 0 degrees. It's 58-mile-an-hour winds in some places up in Denbigh. It was a stormy night. It was actually on record. I got the Met Office records of it in the book. And of course, it's pouring down with rain. So what the hell are you doing out there? No one's going to be out there.
Right.
And it's not the golf course, as some people are trying to say. And it's not people in vehicles. We'll get to that in a minute, I guess. And it's not some quarry, which is over to the right. This thing is definitely coming from much closer and more central, away from all the other stuff. Now, video 1A is when Nathan and Alex are staring at this thing, because Nathan thought, the bin's blown over. He heard a noise. Oh, the bin's blown over. He recognized that. He looks out into the distance, and this is what he sees.
Okay, so this is going to mute all of our mics when it plays. It goes for 2 minutes.
Let it play. Let it play.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know. That's impossible. Nothing could be like that, especially in this weather.
Was the bus getting all bad?
Can't believe it.
Let's go back.
amazing. Shall I wake Mama?
If you want.
Where? There! Above the house. See it?
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know.
I need my glasses.
It's
I've got my glasses downstairs on the
Which
cafe.
one?
Yeah.
Sticks. What the hell is
It's
it?
gone now.
Okay.
Interesting. It looks like it's spinning.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
rotating,
Yes.
and it's something on a bit of an angle. I mean, what's that? It's horizontal in it, so it's like,
Yeah.
level. At some point in the remainder of the video, it actually does like a 40-odd degree tilt, and it couldn't do that if it was on a normal level ground or hill, because
Mm-hmm.
this thing doesn't move from that spot, but the lights change angles. Now, I have to point out something here. The family have lived on that area for, well, all their lives.
Right.
They know what to expect, and they know what's normal. And I suppose Alex is the one that's really highlighting it the best. That is amazing. What is that? I can't see.
Mhm.
Their eyes can pick up better than what that camera can, because the camera they've got
Absolutely.
is the camera at the time was a decent camera actually for what it was, a Camilio S30. If you want to see what that looks like, you can bring up slides 11
Okay, one moment. Get it.
just to let people see what it looks like.
Yep, absolutely. I'll just get up here and share screen. Bump, bump.
I liked
Oh.
listening to their reactions because it was like you're living in the moment
that's-
with them, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audio and the words they're using is not one of, oh, that's just someone messing around up at the golf course. Oh, that's just the
Yeah.
quarry guys. You know what I mean? Oh, that's just the farmer. They don't
Yeah.
say that. They never. There's 3 of them there. They've lived there all their lives. They're still living there now. That's the camera that Nathan received for Christmas, and interestingly enough, it was right by his bed, just sitting there. And I think the whole scenario lasted 15 minutes. They got about 10 minutes worth of video footage.
Wow.
Wow.
And, they didn't start filming it right away. They were like, oh my God. But obviously then they,
Yes.
this 12-year-old and this 14-year-old had the sense of mind to grab it and start getting some video. And there's that one image I was just showing you earlier at the bottom. It's a little more smaller there,
Yeah.
but
It's much more clear.
it's just,
Yeah.
but what you can see is that on the left and right side there, it looks like that's the far end of the lights, you know what I mean? Yeah, right there. And
Right there.
you can see those triangles, and it looks like they've got
Yeah.
those. How do I describe this? If you've got a torch and you've got like that lampshade kind of thing on the end of it, just to get the beam of light to come out in a sort of like focalized area.
Mm-hmm.
What's amazing about that is not that those lights are not doing that. I mean,
No.
they're not shining a beam, or they're not bringing out a sort of like a laser show kind of type beam, which you see at some of those, sort of like festival events. A lot of people.
It was pretty good. If you really watched it, you could see it just
Mhm.
turning and rotating. That
And
makes it that much more compelling, because not everything does that.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of people don't look into.
Mm-hmm.
And if I just bring up slide 25,
Okay, one moment.
Were they the only witnesses to this that
there were
night?
4 people who witnessed it. Yeah, as far as I know, they were
Okay.
the 4.
Wow, that's fantastic. Any
family there
other
was.
any other sightings in that town before?
Not before, but the one I just showed you, the castle, was a month later. And the reason
Yeah.
I was interested in that is that, like here, remember what I said? The smaller and larger discs are on the top of it.
Yes.
Whatever that picture was that that person got at Denbigh Castle. The reason why I'm interested in this is because you can see the oval shape.
Yes.
Yes.
You can see where the lights are, but you can see maybe like a flashing little red light to the bottom left there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is not part of the thing. That's taken from a picture of the screen that he had on his iPad. So that's not part of the actual object. I thought it was, but I interviewed David and I asked him, what's all that about? And well, he said to me that a week before he may have seen something like this in that same area. So if you are looking for a witness, I guess, I asked him, well, could you describe it? He says, well, I only saw it for a few seconds, but it definitely had some similarities. Now, what's interesting about this, and I'm going to just keep this image up here, is that on the right is the inverted image. You can clearly see that the hue of the lights is very localized to the craft. It actually shows the dome like that. And this is the thing that people kept saying to me. Now, if I just find one of the eyewitness testimonies in a sec, if you want to read a bit of that, every single one of them, whether it was Nathan who saw it first and Alex who saw it later, remember when they said they're going to wake their mum up? She thought that the boys were talking about, mom, come see. It's like, what? Is the house on fire or something? Thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't expect to see that. That's for sure.
It was, the all-knowing bloody hell that got me.
Yeah. And then later on, Kira was asleep upstairs anyway, but she heard the commotion and decided to come and have a look. I think one of the boys woke her up anyway. And what's interesting with Kira is she tells me, let me see if I can find her statement. I've got so many statements up here. See, I interviewed them all and I transcribed it all into, because I wanted people to see what they had to say. Here we go. Slide 17.
Okay, coming at you.
This is a great case.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, so maybe it'll show up on yours.
Screen.
See, I interviewed them, and I put a portion of their interviews in the book, and I interviewed them and I transcribed it all up for myself. So it's like one of the questions I wanted to ask them, because you can hear it in the audio. With Kira, it's not so much heard in the audio, but you can definitely tell later on when she's the last person to see it. But she sees it for a good few minutes anyway. So I asked them all, but we'll start with Kira. So how did you feel when you saw it? And Kira said, my emotions were mixed. Shock. I was amazed, curious. There is so many emotions running through my head because it's not something you get to see every day. They lived in this area their whole lives. Why is this any different? Because it's never been seen before or since. I couldn't put my finger on how I felt because every single emotion was running through me. I was happy. I was terrified. Mixed emotions. So I asked, so every kind of emotion going through your mind at once. How long did you observe the object for? 4 minutes tops. The observation was about 15 minutes. I think Nathan and Alex were the ones who got the longest view. She came in at the end, but she got enough to see, that this is clearly something unusual.
Yes.
I asked her, before you saw this, did you ever see a UFO and believe in this? I've always been a believer of extraterrestrial beings and UFOs and stuff, but I never think I'd get the chance to ever see one, and this has sort of made me, my beliefs 100% concrete now. Now, look, this is the same theme. If you want to go to slide, I think, 18.
Okay.
Just the next one over. This is the same theme for all the witnesses, and this is the one thing I keep pointing out that a lot of people are missing. Well, not a lot of people, but the debunkers in Charles, they are idiots over this.
There we go.
Okay, you can see there. You can even see in the bottom right there, tilting up. Look.
That's a phenomenal photo. That last one on the right.
This is all
wow.
the video.
Yeah.
I say all 4 witnesses state in their interviews and in the recordings they are amazed by what they are seeing. The lights are anything they've ever seen before, and are certain they are looking at a UFO of some kind. Now, I did ask them, could you maybe draw a diagram, maybe give you an idea of what you saw on paper? And Linda, who's the lady at the top right there, that's the mother, and Kira is the granddaughter. And if I just get to slide because I made sure I covered all bases here.
Okay.
Just double check. I may not have it on here. I guess not. Sorry. Doesn't look like. Oh, sorry. I guess it's not on here. But no, there it is. Slide 39.
Okay.
This is now
39.
looking at location. We're going to look at some size comparisons.
Okay. One second.
Just the technical issues have stopped.
Thank goodness. Wow. Yeah. Don't jinx us. I know.
It's like, no.
It could happen.
We don't know who's listening.
There we
Okay.
go.
All right. This is now I'm going to show you the day and nighttime comparison in a sec, but just to give you an idea of what you're looking at here, this is a view of their home. You can see there in the center page is like a boomerang looking shape. That's the road that runs around their home.
Okay.
Now in the back there's the houses in the distance. You can see like the lights and the chimney and everything. Above it, look, you can see red light at the top sometimes. We saw that a few times in the clips.
Yeah.
And then you've got that disc-shaped object. Now, at no point did any of these people say it's way out into the distance, like above the Croppy Farm area. This is behind or near enough a field called Kai Howell Field. It's like a big open green field behind the houses there. And a bit further up is, there's a school. You can see it written there. Look.
Yeah.
And there, I asked them all, do you know how big it was? And never did any one of them say it was like hundreds of feet wide. It was like maybe a couple of dozen feet wide, 60, 70 feet wide. And if I take you to slide, let me have a look here. I'm doing my present. Yeah, okay, let's go to slide 40.
14 or 40?
40.
40. All right. All right. Give me one moment.
I've never seen this many photos. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is a slide presentation I did in June. I put it all together. A lot of it's in the book anyway, but I did all this for my documentary. So now, okay, that little yellow zone area there that I got is the Kai Howell Field. That's where we were. Now they're pointing out like that, if you like, they're pointing up towards the way the red arrows are. So, and if you read in the bottom right there, what I've done is centering from their location and then looking outwards. You can see maybe see the pictures of the far right and the left and right. I figured that's the it happens in many times. I figured it's spinning and it's flashing lights. These are the widest points. So this is the farthest point. This is its diameter. And I drew a line from the right side to the left side of it. And I thought, okay, we'll follow it out. And you say it's around a couple of dozen feet, maybe 60 or 70 feet. It brings me up to that location where that red line, where the three lines conjoin together.
Yeah, right here.
You can see it roughly around there. I thought, well, that's probably maybe where it was, maybe a bit further up. That's just behind the school in a little open field there. And that is about 26.71 meters in width, I do believe, if that's what I'm getting at. So that's roughly about 70 or 80 feet. So it's a fair size craft.
It's a fair size, yeah.
It's definitely not a drone, whatever this thing is. It's definitely got some width, It's like a bigger than a lorry, or much or one of those 18-wheelers. It's definitely got some width and diameter to it. And as it's spinning, you can see a lot of the lights are on. I mean, if this thing was small, like really small, like in like a typical 15-foot disc shape, I don't believe it could have that many lights on it as it's turning. That's the reason why we keep seeing so many different lights and shapes and odd flashes and everything, because the whole perimeter of it, the outer area, it's just got these small, big, round shapes and triangular fixtures look into it. I mean, this is all my thinking as I'm going through it, but that's what I saw. And now if I just draw your attention to slide 41.
All right.
Because this is where it gets a little bit more interesting.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so look where we're at. Okay. Now, I want you to pay attention to where those red lines are, right? Because you can see now. This is an area called Crappie Farm. I do believe that's how you pronounce it. And up towards the left of the red line, that's a golf course.
Okay.
Oh, that's why the grass is so nice.
Yeah.
Well, up. No, that whole area there, down where all the red lights are, that's the farm.
Yeah.
Once you get to the top, like 12 o'clock position there, that's the golf course there. You can see a little yellow line there, I mean, like a fairway maybe.
Yes.
Somebody was trying to tell me that was where these lights are coming from, was someone's driving around this area at night, on golf carts. Aliens on golf carts. Mick West debunk it.
Pay to see that.
You never know.
I mean, but the point is, right, the point I'm making here is if you look at where the right line of the red light is,
Right.
if you're going up this far and there's people doing circles or laps around you, how are they getting through all this forest?
Yes. That's true.
Because
it looks dense in some areas,
Yeah, Peter Glynn. Because if I take you to slide, this is where Peter Glynn comes in and does slide 23.
Okay. One moment. Just move this over so I can see the screen. Okay. Share, and there we go.
Okay, yeah, this is slide 23. This is Peter Glynn. Peter Glynn's a local man, and I think he was like into politics and UFOs and paranormal stuff at this time. And he did a few videos, and one of the good videos he done is that he did an overlay of night and day. And you can probably see it there in maybe just where the investigation videos title is, and underneath you can see he's overlaid darkness on the daytime, and just trying to get an idea of where things are. Now he's followed those lines up, and he's looked around the farm fields, and there is a tire track there of a tractor or maybe a Land Rover, but there's no sign of human activity in terms of multiple trips doing circles or human footprints, or it's not like the ground there is like really churned up with wheel spin and things like that. He went all around that area and there's nothing there, so that's why I say that it's nothing to do with the ground. And as you can see, if you can go back to the previous slide, I'd like to show you something.
Which one were we at now? 41? Was that 41?
It may have been 41. Yes, 41.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yes, 41. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Fortunately, the studio only lets us do one at a time.
That's okay. This will all become clear now.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're looking at slide, is there another picture here? Let me just double check. There should be like an overlay of the two. It's a little odd. It's not there. Sorry, bear with me a sec.
No problem.
Oh, that's odd. Okay. I want you to pay attention to. Sorry, it's a bit late over here. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's okay. You're a champion, Gary. For doing this
now
so late.
if you notice, right, you can see there's two objects up there. One looks like there's a sort of like a 12 o'clock center. There's like that gray disc thing. That's a water tank.
Okay.
Go with like a sewage treatment facility or water treatment facility type of thing. Now, if you look over to like the 3 o'clock position, you see that large chunk of forest missing over there?
Yes, that's right.
Now, that was done a few weeks after this event. That was chopped down a few weeks after this event. That was not like that before.
And do you know why it was chopped down?
Well, I'll get to that now. If you go over to no,
Sorry,
it's fine.
The criminal profiler in me.
We're going to be taking a look at. We'll go from slides 31, and we'll make our way across to 35. So we'll go 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, if you would, please.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to start with this one first.
Yeah, because this is something I've noticed in many of my UFO investigations. Whenever these things are near forest lands or something like this happens, for some reason, forest land gets chopped down, if they've been near the forest, maybe. Now, this is Margaret Pritchard. And I didn't learn about this until she told me that day, because I went up to interview the family, and they said, let's have a look around the Christmore Woods, because I was really interested in what was going on there. They said that there was some strange chopping down and everything. Oh, let's go have a look, because this doesn't happen like that. A large section just chopped down for no reason. No one knows why. And I asked plenty of people about this. They just came in, chopped it down, and some of the wood has been left there even to that day when I went up there. I don't know if it's still there now, but what's interesting, you see that path they're on? You have to climb over a fence or one of those like gates in order to get in there. So if someone was driving around at night, they'd have to be going through that gate and driving around that densely forested area to make lights appear. That's how stupid that Mick West thing is.
Right.
I mean, I actually like Mick West for some of the work he's done, because other UFO cases where people have peddled videos or photographs as being genuine, he generally does debunk them, and I'm like, oh, well done. You know, you definitely done some good. But you know, it's like the default mode of Metabunk is debunk, end off.
Right.
You know, don't even give it a chance.
Right.
But anyway, like I said, this is Margaret, and she pointed out to me a couple of things. If you go to the next slide, this should be the one after this. You can click across.
32. All right.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So this is going to show you.
Okay, 1 second.
Tech's going well today, thank God.
Here we go. Bam.
Now,
good.
These are some of the trees that were. I do believe that one was blown down. That big one there, but there's others around there that you can see. The pictures on the two top pictures are definitely where the area's been cleaned. Some of the stuff's then been dragged to the sides, and it doesn't make sense as to why that's happened, actually, because I did write to some of the local council areas and ask them why did this happen, and no one seems to have an answer.
Well, because there would be a permit in the office, right? Municipality for that.
Some sort of paperwork, or at least a reason that would be on our system.
England needs paperwork for everything, so
does Canada.
Yeah,
it's bad, especially when you're in the wildlife. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, that's why I've got so many FOI requests on the Penturk thing. I mean, because I'm asking for paperwork and no one's got any, and I'm like, what? You know, you did all that on that night. You brought all those vehicles and all that firepower.
And nobody knows.
Trucks.
There's probably a book in itself, right? You have a story in itself aside from that. But I mean, like you have,
there is a book on
just
that
on why it takes so long.
Oh, maybe on that part, but this is the Penturk incident book.
What a beautiful cover! I love books.
Oh, that's the barrel shining on. That's the picture. That's an artist's rendition of how the barrel looked when shining on Carol. The beam thing, I think it's a bit more artistic impression.
Yeah,
it's shone a light rather than a single beam. But the artist who put it together just did his own interpretation, so that's why that's like that. But yeah, it's a very, very. She's standing on the very gate when the picture's taken. He's just overlaid it and done his artist thing.
Wow.
But let me think now. So yeah, this is how we learned about sanitized felons, actually, because if this is a contaminated area for Larch disease or some sort of fungal infection, and they have to clear it out to stop the other areas being attacked, then they have to clear it all away. But you can see in the picture, the 6 o'clock position there's a clear saw cut right through the middle.
Yeah.
There's a number of others like that around.
Yeah.
And they haven't cleared it. They've just come in. I don't know if this is storm damage or whether or not. Not all of it. No, not all of it was. Many of those trees were fine.
So there aren't any, there isn't any evidence of burning or anything like that, because if there's fungal, they usually put a chemical and then burn it.
No, I didn't see any evidence of that. No,
see, that's questionable. Yeah.
They just, and apparently, according to Linda and Margaret, who used to still do, walk up there with their dog. I think I don't know if the dog's still around. He was old when I went to see him, but But they would walk around there. There's a beautiful landscape. They just came in and chopped the daylights out of it, and there's no explanation why. And I often wonder, this thing came over that area.
That's highly suspicious.
Especially when they're doing it at night. Come on,
if you go
at night, why would you be in a forest at night? A and B. Why did you cut it down? And there's nothing listed anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything's public record.
But if you go to number 33
when you're touching
now,
the environment.
Indeed,
There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Slide 33. This is taken from the Denbighire's own records. You can see there where I've highlighted. That's a protected site.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those protected areas, so they wouldn't just go in there and do that. But yet they've gone in there and done it, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Why is this? Why is it every time where we get Rendlesham or Penturk or Denbigh or Nottingham or Wilsthorpe or the Sheffield incident, or even some of the Scotland ones, even out in Travis Walton's case, or maybe even with the Roswell. There's always, people can make of those cases what they want, but for some reason, people came in, cleared the area, and got rid of it. There's even another case in Flanilla called the Europe Roswell or European Roswell with Gary Rowe. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But if you go to the next slide after this one, 34.
Do they say why is this protected? The area.
Apparently it's ancient woodlands.
Historical?
It's ancient woodlands.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's historical,
ancient
yes.
woodlands, and they just took it. Okay, that just took
and
it
they
all
just
down.
chopped all the wood down.
That's okay.
That would go really well.
Threw it over the side.
Yeah,
you look at it.
kidding.
When I was up there in 2018, it didn't look like. I was looking around the other area. I said, "This is beautiful," but you look over there, it's like, "What have they done?" Yeah, this is
so much for protected area.
This is from the Denbighshire government of the local area. This is just an email. The woods in question are not maintained by Denbighshire. You could contact the Wood Trust or perhaps the CADW, as they are ancient woodland. So I've been told. Well, they are ancient woodland. You're not telling me why they've done this.
No.
Obviously, someone must have, and just a few weeks after, for no reason. Unless of course
they're
because
passing the buck.
I think the craft, when they get close to the ground, well, I know when they get close to the ground or close to forested areas, the energies coming off of these things are immense, and they can cause significant damage, or
radiation.
It can leave maybe radiation of some sort. Maybe that's why they do it. But so if you go to the next slide, 35.
Boy, oh boy. Yep.
This is what I'm learning through all my years of research.
When they're hiding things, you're onto something. It's that simple, right?
Section
and then that means you're doing
number.
Good. Yes.
But this is just how it looks before and after. You can see 2006.
Wow.
And there it is in 2016.
Wow.
Just a huge chunk of it gone, and for no reason. At least and you can see over to the right. There's the quarry, and
oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting that sometimes a quarry is always near these interesting places. Same with Penturk. Same with my sighting when I had it in 2000 and 2000 well, not 2000. In 1989, this would have been when I was 7 years old. So there was a quarry not too far away. So I don't know. Maybe they're attracted to the quarries themselves. I don't know the materials.
Yeah. Well, even the difference in the quarry, just look at that compared to what it looks like now. It's dry.
It's a fair chunk of land.
Well, Dolly asked, was there great lightning in the area of the time of the video?
Not lightning, as far as I know, from the event. No, but there was a storm, so there could have been lightning. I just don't know if it struck
it wouldn't
down
take
there.
out a whole forest. So.
Not like
and
that.
there would have been evidence if it was lightning hitting a
But
forest.
if you go to slide 50, no, sorry, slide 48.
Okay. 1 second.
This is now video analysis, because this is like video analysis that I had someone do, because I knew a man named Jason Gleaves. He does UFO only, and he's done a book or 2 or 3 now, probably. And this is just some of the stuff he came up with. These are some of the filters he put it through. You can see the frame shows the lights are now moving at an angle, because this is what Alex said it did. It went from like that to that.
Yeah.
Video does show this. They continuously rotate.
Yeah.
They rotate. They don't flash. They rotate.
Yeah.
Constantly rotate. And even in the next video I'm going to show you now, they'll say they can even see the top of the dome. I think Nathan's the one. If you go to slide 49.
Okay. Bear with me. Working on it. All right.
I'll see if I can get a bit of a discussion going now, but I just want to show you these
Yeah,
things
Dolly's
because
been posting there.
I'll get Dolly on now. Then we'll.
There we go.
This is Mick West's Metabunk, just because our story appeared on the Daily Star, which is like a tabloid, a newspaper over here. This is just, he took like a few seconds of the video I showed you in one of them
Mm-hmm.
and just stabilized it and said, oh, it's not rotating at all. But it's like, if you overlay where the red lines were, they're driving into the forest and crashing their carts then, you know what I mean? Aliens play golf at night, do they? I guess that's the reason they come here. We've got fantastic
We don't
putting
know.
ranges and stuff, driving ranges, and play a game of 18 and stupid stuff like that. But if let me see, what's slide 50 like? I'll show you slide 50. Look,
Okay, a moment. Alrighty. All right.
I won't go into all of this.
This is good. No worries. Here we go. Wow.
That's the water tank I told you about. See that little red line there where the water tank picture is?
Yep.
Now that's obviously where the golf course is. Now what's interesting is where you can see those other pictures I'm showing you. That's obviously the path that leads over a gate. There's no way to turn around in there.
Right.
The two trees that you see, one is from the window, and that one is right next to it. That's me up in the field, and that's like I don't know how far that is, maybe a mile and a half, or maybe a mile.
Mm-hmm.
If you could see, there's a bankment down the other side. You can't see anything over the other side, and until you get to this point where they would have been coming up visible over the hill. So how are they seeing people from behind a little mound hill there with?
I would say they
trees?
aren't. Yeah,
you can't.
I would say not.
This is why I know it's nothing to do with people activity or any vehicles whatsoever. And if I just draw your attention to slide 53 and slide 50. Oh yeah, we'll do 53, 54, 55, and then another video, and then I'll open it up for discussion.
No worries at all. 1 second.
This is going well.
Yeah, trying. Okay, here we go.
These are just some comparisons. You can see the bottom two pictures on the bottom right are the shots. Do they look like fireworks or sparklers or lanterns or flares? No, they don't.
I would say no.
And as you can see, look at the lights in that picture you got your cursor on now. Look at that.
Yeah, it's
look
very
at it.
uniform.
You'd make a great homicide detective.
Yeah, I've been told I'm really meticulous. So we go to the next slide, 54.
Alrighty.
But there was just so much to work with on this case. That's why it was so great. I mean, radar images didn't show anything. The police were contacted. They said it was lampers. Well, if they were lampers, you should have gone and arrested them because lamping is illegal in this country, I'm told. On the right there, you can see plane, helicopter, drone versus those two images I picked out because that's where the lights are very prominent. They're nothing like that, although they could be excused for maybe one glance. But when you're staring at it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and you've lived in this area your whole life, they don't look like anything like that.
No.
And why would you fly it? Why would you be flying? There's nothing on radar. Why would you be flying in storms? You couldn't. You'd lose control.
Well, you shouldn't be anyway.
especially with storm. And if you go to the slide 55.
Yep, no problem.
It's just another one of those comparisons
Queued
again.
up and ready to go.
So this is how it looks with people on the ground. If you're walking around with a torch or a Jeep electrical arc, or you can see in the distance how the mountain walker looks. They're always leaving these beams of light. Like they create like a torch always, or a beam of light always illuminates a certain area, but these lights are focal into their own source. They don't shine outwards. They don't illuminate anything else. They don't illuminate the ground, the houses, the surrounding areas. I think some said they're incandescent, so they shine, but they stay within their own zone. And as some people have said, the lights, they shone like Nathan said, like fireworks, and they come down like and Kira said they were like water, like underwater. They were shimmering, and I said I've seen that because I remember when I saw my sighting. That's how I knew this thing was real to begin with. It had some similarities to mine. But you can see
Yes.
the forest walker, look, lights up the forest, an electrical arc. There's no electrical cables up there. Lampers
Yeah.
and jeeps, that's what the police said they were, but no
Looks
one
nothing
investigated.
like the lights. No.
It looks nothing like
No.
it. And if you just play the final video, which is video
Okay.
2A, I think.
Oh yeah, I've got you queued up. No problem. 1 second. Here we
The bizarre thing is, it's spinning.
Look.
Listen, I can see it through it.
Look at the lights. Look at it.
Cause shaking, I like.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I know, it's weird.
Shut up!
Oh, can you help me? Stroking my legs. Should we send it to the post?
Have a look at it.
Lights. There could be something in that field. Man, if you go there tomorrow with a crop circle, do you reckon that's what's moving?
Yeah, Alex. If we upload it to YouTube, Alex. Yeah.
That's amazing. That.
Would you reckon Secret Service will take?
Shut up.
Alex, look right now. You can see above it, Alex. You can see above it. Fine. Oh my god.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Keep your mind, please, Alex.
I'm still. What the hell could that be? That is amazing. I can see the saucer. Check you.
See one?
That was really clear.
That was pretty wild.
That was really clear.
As you can see, they can see the saucer shape, and the rest of the video, which is in the documentary, well, a good portion of it anyway. Kira walks in, she can see it, she's heard the commotion, and at some point the lights go off, and Alex is like, "Oh, don't stop! Just don't stop!" You know what I mean? It's like that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And
Yeah,
what makes me laugh? What makes me laugh is
Yeah.
that Nathan's on about putting it in the post, and he's really like, "Should we put it in the YouTube?" And you know,
Yeah.
I mean, Alex is just blown away. Nathan's just like a young kid excited. We'll put it up here. We'll put it up there. And the mother who's like, "That is amazing. I don't know what that is." And they can tell. And Kira later on, just it's like, you know. And I said to her at the end of it, I made this the final. I think I made this like the final part of my video. I think.
Yeah.
I said, if you could watch it, because we're talking about how amazing was it, you know. Oh, so you know, if you, because she's an Ed Sheeran fan, or you know, if she's an Ed Sheeran fan, so if you had a backstage pass for an all-inclusive access,
Right.
Ed Sheeran, or a winning lottery ticket, you know, and live your dreams, and or to see that again, what would it be? Oh, I want to see that again. I said because it's priceless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was. It's a phenomenal video.
Why would you
clearly
get
see it.
excited over that? So I mean,
I get excited over it. I'm just watching the video.
I'm excited and I'm frightened by them. Dolly said earlier, if I could just interject for a second, is that okay? Said earlier when we were talking about it and she asked about the lightning was because they charge during storms and the quarry gives off a lot of energy that they need. So it makes total sense that, she said it makes total sense. And when they're rotating, that's how they collect the energy.
That's fascinating.
We're with Dolly then, because that's an interesting idea. Because I've had some of my ideas why it was there. I mean, it didn't look damaged to me, but the question is, why is it constantly in this place? I mean, it's visible. It's not too far away from us, as you know. I mean, a local population. It's only by the grace of God that Nathan's bin blew over that he was able to, you know, get that footage, and they all saw it. Otherwise, they probably would have been missed.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it was fantastic footage.
That is the best
we have
footage
to do
I've
a really
ever
quick
seen.
station and sponsors
I don't know
ID.
if I'm going to be able to speak now.
I know. We have this is a work part of our job. Our sponsors.
Oh, yes.
And
If
our
we want to
station
continue
ID.
staying on air, we
Yes,
need to do
exactly.
this one.
Okay.
All right, I got this. You are listening to The Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, coming to you live from the beautiful city of New Orleans on 105.3 and 107.7 FM, as well as the Roku channel. If you're tuning in right now, I'm going to tell you that if you didn't have this on video, you weren't watching, you missed out. You're going to want to catch the archive on our YouTube channel, right on The Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche. You don't want to miss this. I say if you're tuning in and you missed it, just stream on any platform. But our guest tonight is Gari Jones, and he has given us the most amazing slideshow and the most compelling footage. I dare any skeptic to challenge it.
Oh, I dare you
Gary, Gary is with us tonight discussing the Denbigh Lights, a truthful argument for the existence of UFOs, and it is his book. He's done all the research, and he has been kind enough to share with us this amazing slideshow tonight. And as I was going to say, if you're tuning in, no worries, but make sure that you watch this. Either come to our Facebook page where StreamYard, we will have it archived right there for you, or head over to YouTube so that you can enjoy this well put together and compelling footage. To the wonderful people at Folgers Coffee, thank you so much for your continued support in sponsoring our show. We deeply appreciate you and we love you. It's not 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm tongue-tied this week. I am so sorry. I have no excuses here. For our fabulous banner and promo media, thank you to Steve McGinnis, horror illustrator, fantastic artist who can paint, do comics. As Michelle mentioned earlier, he creates anything, commissioned pizzas as well, and he can be found on Facebook and Instagram. Loving our intro and outro, because we do. Thank you to Dr. Snick, the sonic surgeon, Justin Snicker, award-winning composer, vocalist, and musician. You can find his music on Amazon and Bandcamp and stream him on any platform that you normally use. You can also find Dr. Smith on Facebook and Instagram, and he's constantly dropping clips there so you can preview his music. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook or you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you click like and subscribe. Don't forget it. We love the support. We love that you're there, and we do this all for you, and we're so grateful that you're here.
And just a little tidbit of fun fact: Folgers is a British family. They originated in the UK,
Can you believe it?
I know came to the United States, and they even got a mention in Moby Dick, the novel, as they came on to be a whaling family long before getting into the coffee business.
Who knew the UK had coffee?
I know, it was all
back
tea.
then.
I know.
Yeah, back then.
I know. So I've got pictures that Dolly sent me and asked me to share with you all. And 1 second here. Why is everything giving me a hard time?
Wayne said I said commissioned pizzas.
Well, we should.
Did I?
Okay. So Dolly can explain more about these, but these are for you, Gary, for you to see. So these are crafts. This is one of hers. That is one of her crafts. And
her
Dolly,
crafts that she's seen, or her crafts that she's been on.
Yeah, well, she can explain. I'm just showing them. That's all I'm doing.
She's very open.
She's very open, and she likes to share them. This is another one of hers. Hold on.
Maybe you should tell Gary what Dolly used to do.
Well, Dolly is. Hold on. I'm just messing this all up. Dolly just.
Yeah,
that's
craft. She
her
said
craft.
It's her craft.
She pilots, actually. There's a book about her called Symmetry by Preston Dennett. Here we go. There we are.
Oh.
Aha! That's an eye popper, isn't it?
Yeah, at first glance, that's quite interesting.
I think you're going to like talking to her. I see your future.
Connect you. Yeah. I mean, maybe, it might give you some insights as she has an idea how the crafts
looks like
work.
that Turkey UFO one that supposedly had the grayish aliens in the middle of it, didn't it? Remember that?
Oh, yes.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's similar for sure. I've seen them. I've seen them. Okay, and last but not least, this one here. Okay. Stop. Oh, compare. I gotta stop. Let's go. Stop. Go. I wish I'd make this easier for the soundboard. All right. There we go.
Wow.
Yes. So,
Wow.
yes. I know. There we go.
I got an open mind and a skeptic eye at the same time. So if my space is going, you know,
I'm the same,
turkey
so I
UFO.
recognize it.
Yeah.
I think
we
it's
go.
healthy to be both skeptical and open-minded. You
Yes,
have to be. That's what makes you credible.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the thing. I always become my biggest skeptic because if I can debunk myself, then no one else is going to have a chance.
Yeah.
You know, that's why
we've interviewed Dolly several times, and Dolly actually has a show with Preston Dennett on our network, and we
The
can
Light
tell you
Gates,
she's the
yeah.
real deal, and I believe you'll really enjoy talking with each other.
Mhm.
Her experiences
Interesting.
are phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
you both have a lot of compelling evidence.
So where do you go from here, Gary? You've got the book written. You've done all this research. Is there more to be done? Is there more to be found?
I think in terms of the case, it's pretty well wrapped up and sewn up. Obviously, I'd love to get more people aware of it.
Yes.
Because there could be more witnesses. There could be more connections. I don't believe this thing just turned up and charged its batteries and then decided to go away. It clearly was staying in the area for a while. If it was seen a week before by David or something similar, and then a month afterwards by the castle, there's, I mean, there are stories about the castle that I put in the book. I can't remember off the top of my head, but just like there's stories of dragons that have been slayed there, or people who had 8 fingers, or
Yes.
there was a UFO case where a woman was walking a dog around the castle, and this beam of light came down from nowhere, scared the dog crazy, like the dog there, but the dog maybe was just probably getting the dog was probably just getting excited with the other lot. But no, the person who reached up to grab a dog away from this beam of light, it got burnt by this beam, and there's been another UFO case up there that happened in 1974. I think it was the Berwyn Mountain, not too far away. I don't know if you ever heard of this one, but it's believed that something crashed there or may have come down hard and landed quite nastily, but managed to take off again. But the military was seen there and cordoned off the area, and the local residents were wondering if a plane had crashed. And a lot of evidence points to very interesting UFO activity there. I mean, North Wales is an unbelievable place. It just drips. It doesn't even drip feed. It just gushes UFO cases.
It gushes everything. It gushes paranormal, everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, if I draw your attention to just for a bit of fun here, I did put this in the slide presentation. Let me see where it is.
Okay, I have to go back and grab it. Okay, 1 minute. There we go. Which slide?
Stay with me. I've got so many of them. I'm trying to figure out which one it was.
No, there's something there.
It is. Slide 43.
43. All right. Let's have a bit more fun.
Just maybe Dolly would like this as well. Okay. But this is Gary Rowe. This is the group I was with one time. I took pictures of this material he said he found in 1983. And apparently something had left a lot of debris over a couple of farm fields. And someone had called him to come in and take a look. And that's the piece right there in the two pieces.
Oh, I know Mark Ollie. That's awesome.
Oh my God, he's coming on in
yeah.
or next
many
week.
times.
I'll ask him about this because his documentary is how I found this out.
Oh, did you?
Anyway, that's the piece that was in case. And Gary Rowe had an interview with the guy I was with. But I had a chance to talk to him. He's an amazingly knowledgeable guy. And they did this really interesting trick where he took a coffin there, those big long, they look like crowbars, you know what I mean? The big long thing. He bent it in half, and I couldn't even so much as twist the damn thing. But he said, how did you do that? And he says, he learned to tell it's some trick. It's not a trick. It was definitely, when he bent it, it was hot. And I can't bend the bloody thing back in place. I've even got the nail with me. But he, I mean, in terms of size and strength, I was way stronger than him. But somehow he's tricked his brain or learned how to the whole reason why you don't break your bones when you exert yourself is because your brain stops your muscles from contracting so much muscle power.
That's crazy.
But he's learned to overwrite that, which is how he's able to do that sort of thing.
Right.
And when I picked it up and I said, geez, this thing is... Anyway, long story short, but the point is Gary's a very interesting and very knowledgeable guy. He should be on more. He should be the Nick Pope of Wales. He should, you know what I mean? He should.
We've had him on a lot, and he's coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah,
not
Gary. Gary Rowe.
Oh, not Gary. Sorry, no,
Mark
Ollie.
No, I mean Mark Ollie did a good. I mean, you can see his documentary there, Europe Roswell, Crash at Aberystwyth.
Yeah.
Anyway, this material he said was very solid and very hard. But before he had a chance to go and find that, the military came in once again, cleared up the whole area. Someone chopped a lot of trees and dug a lot of soil up. But he went and carried on searching, and he was able to recover this piece from a bush somewhere, I guess. And apparently that green piece there, you can see next to the silver piece. They're very light.
I'm just trying to go back. Dolly said she would like to see it enlarged, but I'm struggling.
Oh, I think she probably screenshot it as enlarging it at home right now.
Sorry,
I can send her the picture if she wants it. I can send her the picture.
I have it right now. Can I email it to her? Can I email?
Yeah, send that if you want. But I mean, I've got more close-up ones of it.
Oh wow, yeah. Dolly, would you like that?
Okay, yeah. If you want to send them to me, I will forward them. That would be great.
She said she's going to plug your book.
What I'll do, Gary, is I will you email it to me in a separate email, and I will forward it to her from you. That way, you guys will be connected.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? We can do that. So
okay. Yeah. So I mean, the point is in North Wales, there's been a lot of landed craft, crashed craft. Some stuff been recovered, especially that. Now I don't know what that material is. It could be advanced craft. It could be extraterrestrial. The point is, Wales has got a long history of unbelievable sightings, and the reason why I like this one for the reason I call it the let me think. The Truthful Argument of UFOs. As I just pointed out there, you cannot call it a plane, a drone, a helicopter, lightning, arc, fireworks, people messing around, delusions, trick of light,
not
CGI, Adobe Photoshop, because all that stuff's been examined, and even when the people who try to debunk it, you can see how quickly you can tear the argument apart. But for some trolls and idiots out there who are, oh my God, I'm like, do you people even have? I mean, if you took 100 of these people and put them together, they wouldn't light a spark on a match. You know what I mean? That's how we.
They're ignorant, right?
They're so dense.
Yeah. They're ignorant a little bit. Some are daft, and some are just fear. They're afraid.
I think a lot is fear driven, because if they admit to themselves, and this is some people, not everyone, but let's face it, this is what media and propaganda has done to people on average. We've been taught to fear things like this. So what happens then if they admit, oh yeah, this is real, then they have to admit that, holy crap, this is real. You see, if your evidence is real, and they come to terms with that, they have to admit that this phenomenon is real, and that adds to the fear. Yeah. And people really struggle, right?
Who's Michael Schrott?
He's a UFO researcher in America, I believe. I've seen some of his presentations. He does these top secret project disclosures or something, or design of military craft that are based maybe reverse engineered from craft.
Do you know him?
Some of his work is really. I don't know him personally. I've just seen him.
Well, Dolly wants to introduce. Dolly wants to introduce you to him. That's why I'm asked you. She said I want to hook you up with Michael Schrott.
Oh, please do.
Who's Michael Schrott? Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, please.
See, it was worth saying.
I haven't seen a lot of Michael. I haven't seen Michael's work. Yeah, we're building bridges here, Dolly. Thank you very much.
That's right.
I did see someone say, great compilation of photos and evidence. So thank you for that, whoever that was.
Beautiful.
But like I said, I mean,
I'm gonna plug you. There we go.
Most impressive.
Thank you very much,
yes.
Cece.
I agree.
Well, this is the point. I mean, Yeah, Wayne. Yeah, Wayne
Mhm.
Mallows. Yeah, thanks, Wayne, and thanks, CC. Though, I mean,
Also
look,
from
Also
Wales or
from
England.
Wales. Yes.
England. Yeah.
what are you doing? He's up as late as me. God, you're not a cool person.
Well,
then.
he's here
Anyway,
He's
now.
here on
He's
this
here
side of the
now.
world now.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
yes.
But
So
I mean, go on.
no, your turn.
Your
Go
show.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. We've got 10 minutes left. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Plug yourself. How do
I
people
would just
find
say,
you?
I'm on Facebook, and Gary Jones, my name, GariJones. You can find me from the Penturk incident. Excuse me, got hiccups now. You can find me there. I do have a channel on Rumble where I post a lot of this stuff. I've got other cases on there too,
Oh, cool.
which
Excellent.
I've got they don't got video evidence and photographs, and I go to a lot of trouble. Like I check star charts if there's stars in there or night objects. I check with radars and do FOIs and stuff. I mean, I've got another lady now whose case has got me intrigued because there's some evidence to support it. Like she saw her and her partner saw a V-shaped object which had this very interesting design. Like somebody took curvy boxes and stuck them together like Lego bricks, you know what I mean? And it was spinning like this as it was going across the water up in North Wales and Llandudno. So that was odd. I mean, I need to speak with her a bit more, get a bit more detail. But I would just say to people, look, this book here, this case here obviously is that's the biggest one there. Because we've disproved the government, we've uncovered the government's cover-up and completely destroy it. The government the government themselves say they've got no paperwork, no documentation, no written orders, no emails or messages or nothing suggesting that they came to Wales and wanted to do an exercise. Even the MOD now admit there were no low-flying training exercises in Wales for 2016 of February, period. So why did you come here and do all that then?
Exactly.
The police admit they weren't doing counter-terrorism drills, so that's out of the way. And of course, the Welsh government didn't have a ministerial briefing. No one knew nothing. They came here for that UFO.
Right.
All right. But this one here, there's something about I keep forgetting to mention. There's a place called the Cloydian Range, and I often wondered why this one didn't get seen. Because apparently the mountains of the Cloydian Range, Gary Rowe put me onto this one. They act like a shield. They stop people from being able to see the radar returns from that. Maybe that's why this thing was able to stay there for so long and not be disturbed. It just makes me wonder how. So.
I'm just going to put this up for you while you're
I noticed
talking.
Philip Gonzalez on your Facebook too. Sorry, that was me. I sent you a friend's request, but Philip Gonzalez on there too.
Oh yeah, Philip's been on the show.
Kinsella.
Been on the show.
Kinsella, that's right.
Kinsella, I know him. Yeah, the twin brothers.
We've had both Ron and Philip's been on.
Had them both on. Yeah,
they're nice people. I met them up in Yorkshire one time.
Oh yeah, very, very, very nice people.
I'm so jealous. We live there.
Here we go. Ask Gary what he thinks of the recent testimony in Congress.
Which one in Congress in America? In Congress in the UK?
Yeah,
in UK we don't have that.
No, it would be.
Well,
I think
Parliament
I know the one she
investigations.
Means. I think the one she means is with that Schultz and Graver guy and the commando saw the tic-tac in it. Very interesting. What's interesting is that they were put under oath. I do believe they were put under oath, weren't they? If they were, because everyone who goes has to swear, that what they say is the truth. If they found,
they went.
Oh,
if they found out,
Sorry,
if they found out lying.
Thank you, Cece.
Yeah, I think that's the one that they're referring to. If they're found to be lying, they can get prosecuted. So and perjury carries a big sentence in America. David Grosh, I was skeptical about him at first. I think it's his name, but after listening to him with Ross Coulthard, the Australian journalist, and listening to him, he says, what did this guy say? He said that they have alien biology, but I can't say this word, alien biologics, or what do they call them?
Biological.
There's a word. I can't say the word.
Biological
entities, recovered biological entities or something.
Yeah, they gave it a name now.
Yes.
another word for alien, alien biologics or some bloody thing. Anyway,
Right.
yeah,
they're all.
the other interesting thing as well is they mentioned stuff that I've already learned from my years of investigation, that these craft, whatever they do, emit huge energy sources from around them. They interfere with weather, they interfere with craft, they interfere with electronics, and if the radiation stays in an area for long enough, if the radiation only stays in the area long enough, go to. I'll get onto that now, Dolly. The radiation stays long enough, it can affect people physically. It can cause, like not long-lasting effects, but can affect you in a physical and emotional sense. As we learned with the Pen Turk thing, we had nausea and migraines and stomach cramps from that field for first couple of months we were there. Dolly just mentioned, if you go to rumble.com, type in Denbigh Lights UFO, and you'll find a video presentation that I've done for that. The full thing is there. I can't comment back on it at the minute because I'm doing this.
Non-human biologics. That's all it's called. U.S. recovered non-human biologics from UFO crash sites.
There we are.
This is July 27, 2023.
So part of associate with UK Paranormal Network. And no, I've not been. I've always worked independently. I was with a UFO group in Swansea Way. I will not deal with them anymore because they're just not trustworthy. Like I say, go to June 22, Pen Turk Incident Newport presentation, and you'll see why. I'm not going to put any more energy into it because I don't want to manifest anything with it. I just, if they want to keep slagging me and Kaz and everyone else off who don't agree with them, carry on. But I work as an independent.
Sometimes it's better. You get more thorough.
I get more.
What does UAP stand for in the UK?
It stands for unidentified anomalous phenomenon, but sometimes we just call it unidentified aerial phenomenon.
That's
what it is here. Yeah. Well, the States, unidentified aerial phenomena. First time I heard it came out of Hillary Clinton's mouth. So
anything that comes out of Hillary Clinton's mouth is
well, that's why I had to question
unidentified,
it.
Innit?
Yeah, and that's why I had to question it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
I know.
Sometimes the Clintons are nutters.
Is there any questions anyone wants to ask?
Yeah, everybody, we've got a couple of minutes. Chime in.
Nocturnal Frequency Radio, that are friends of ours, and I'm believing it's Steve behind Nocturnal because I think that Alex usually comes on as himself. Ask, was Gary a part or associated with the UK Paranormal Network?
I think I just answered that
question. He answered that one.
I'm independent.
I'm losing it, and it's not 3:00 in the morning here. It's 11.
I know.
It's 4 o'clock
my
over
gosh.
But we're pretty much at the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of this incredible presentation with us. I know Dolly's already going to be on top of it, and she's definitely one that's good to converse with. I think you guys will be able to
give her my email if you give her my email if you want.
Well, if you send me that picture, I'm all going to do is forward it over to her instead of just sending it. So this way she'll see your email on the forward, and then you guys she'll respond to you right away. So that will be.
Is there any more questions before we go?
Yes, Gary. Gary, have you been contacted by any UK government officials?
No, but I'm sure I've been spied on them.
Whoa.
I'm sure
they're spying on me.
Yeah.
We
have a large audience in the UK.
I've had too many things go wrong with my hardware and my hard drives. I've got lots of virus protections and things like,
you need Faradays. You need Faraday boxes. You need Faraday walls. That's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Have you ever seen that? It will block a signal. Like if you have a piece of equipment, you can put it in a microwave. It's going to block the equipment. I have Faraday boxes. I have Faraday boxes to block certain things.
I know you mean.
So that, and you can get Faraday I believe they're sheets and wall dividers, and you can close everything off. Yeah. Dolly bought the lead blankets.
Lead blankets, same idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
one
you
more.
can do all your research and your work in that centralized room, and no one can hack you.
Is Gary familiar with the Matt Williams of the Secret Vault?
I've heard of Secret Vault. I have not spoken with Matt Williams, but isn't that the person who collects like classified documents or something?
I
There we
think
go.
so.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, right.
I'll have to look into that one more.
Well, we're at the top of the hour, so it is that time. So thank you so much again for joining us. I will connect you and Dolly, and you guys, I'm sure, will go
Oh, thank
on
you,
to.
Sissy.
Yes. And we're
Nice
interested
compliment.
in anything you've got going
We're
on in the
staying awake.
future. You now have a connection to us via Philip, and please feel free to email. And we'd love to have you back on if you pursue this a little bit deeper, or you have other cases you'd like to discuss.
He has lots
Yeah, I
of
got a
books.
few. I got a few.
I know.
I got 2.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a lot.
okay. That's a
Oh, please
lot.
buy my book then. If you want to do me a favor,
Yes.
Of
leave a
course.
review, because it's hard work to write these things. And
Absolutely.
if
I support
guess
all our
a few,
authors.
a few sales and a few reviews gets me a little bit higher up in the Amazon department. So
I support
Yeah.
all of our guests with their books. If you saw my bookcase, you would just fall off your chair.
There we go.
Seriously.
See, and look, Sissy just ordered it as well.
Yeah.
There we
leave
go.
a review as well if you would, because like I say, sales help, but the reviews are what make those
And someone
those
else.
sales.
There we go.
Yeah, don't forget, Cece, when you read the book, make sure you leave a review.
Thanks,
It's
Dolly.
very
Thanks, Sissy.
important for the authors to have the reviews.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just like a
Yeah,
restaurant, only you've got a lot more
it's
work into
competitive.
it.
It's hard. It's hard to
It's
get that
competitive.
thing going.
It's I have friends who are authors, and it's competitive. It's difficult, and it's sometimes when you're selling on certain networks, they can be
Yeah, I think
plagiarized,
the more
and you have to
people who
watch
see
that
this
too.
one, yeah,
Yeah,
because
I've seen that one everywhere today when I
it
was
needs
doing research.
it needs to be more widely exposed, because the family
I
is so adamant.
agree.
Mhm.
I agree. And they have such compelling evidence you can't
The evidence is
dispute.
amazing.
This is a nice, clean case that I believe
Mm,
should be made
that's exactly
into
what it
a
is.
film.
I would like
It
to.
should be made into
Any of
a
my cases
film.
could make a film, I reckon. But obviously, the Penn Turk one would certainly be the blockbuster, but that one could make a nice day at the box office, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not? Go
Even
large,
if
I
you go
say.
through, even if it goes through Netflix, they tend to do much better now, streaming services, than cinemas. They
Mm,
tend to do a lot better. But
it's true.
yeah, I
That's
would
true.
even, do we have anyone at Netflix? Who do we?
Well, we're at the top of the hour, so while
I have
Bubbles
to
is
remember.
thinking, I know. We have
Right
to
out this
sign
morning.
off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I gotta get going.
Yes, but
You're not going to have a
thank
proper
you.
English breakfast now? I'm not
Not right
mocking
away,
you.
no.
That's a lot of food. I'm saying that's impressive.
No, it's 4:00 now. I'm gonna go get some sleep now anyway, because I didn't sleep much the other night either, so I've been awake for like over 30 odd hours. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
I've had
Oh,
power
that's
naps.
tough.
No, not an actual proper.
Have a nice, proper glass of water and just go to bed.
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you for
But
being
I
on.
will
Alright,
be in
thank you
touch
very much.
also. I'll send you the links to the show, your audio
Thanks to you
links
and your
and your
guests and the
video
lovely
links.
comments. That's been very much appreciated.
Yeah, oh, they'll keep going. This will keep going. So thank you again, Gary, and I will be in touch.
All right, thank you.
Sleep well.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Good night.
Well, thank you, Gary, for joining us. That was a whole lot of amazing photos. The video was just out of this world for real. And so pleased that he was here to share it all with us. So big thank you to him for joining us. Big thank you to you guys. Kudos for hanging in there with us. And thank you for all your questions and comments. Dolly, thank you for sharing your photos with us. That was always a treat as well. So well, I have to say, before I get into next week, thank you, Folgers, for being our big sponsor and being with us from day one. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you, Justin Snicker, aka Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for your intro and outro. Big thank you to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind all of the artwork here at the show. Next week, guys, we've got 2 Michaels. This is going to be kind of cool. I know.
And they're not in China. They're here.
They're not, no. We've got Michael also live, by the way, live from the UK is Michael Cameron, who's going to be discussing his book, High Strangeness, A Lifetime of Alien and Paranormal Encounters. So hopefully that's going to be really good. And for some reason, my page just keeps going up in the air every time I try to scroll. Thursday night, we welcome Michael Peter Langevin, I hope I pronounced that properly, who's going to be discussing his books, Travel Tales from Unknown Realities. Huh? Right there, Unknown Realities. Man, oh man, which reality are we in? Because I'm not digging this one too much. Sometimes it's kind of like 50-50. Anyway, guys, have a terrific weekend. Please be safe. We will see you all next week. And thank you again for tuning in.